Hello everyone and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is a blue collar wine show where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. This summer's coming up. I know a lot of people drink Pinot Gris, Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay during the summer months, but there's so many interesting wines out there, and we're going to try 4 very cool wines. Maybe a lot of you aren't familiar with these, but let's see how they turn out. Now, most of them are very reasonably priced. The one from Portugal is a little bit more. So, a little more out of my comfort zone for white wines. We're going to try it anyway, see if it's worthwhile, and see if you guys might even want to try something like it. So, with all the wines in the world, so many people stick to exactly what I'm talking about. Pinot Grigio, Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay. Those are the main wines that people go for. Of course, we have to include Vinho Verde from Portugal. That's a hugely popular one. In fact, I'd like to do a couple of episodes where, and tell me what you think in the comments, where I take maybe 4 of my top selling wines in each category and see how they are. I'm a little nervous of doing that because a lot of you shop at the store I work at, my department, and a lot of you buy those wines. So, I don't want to, but that's okay. You understand that I have to be honest. So let's get started right off the bat with the, let's see, where's the vintage on this? It is the 2020 Rovereto Gavi. Now, you may have seen this Rovereto Gavi. It says Di Gavi. It's a Gavi di Gavi. That's pretty cool. From Michel Chiarolo. I think that's how we say it. Chianti Chiarolo. Michel Chiarolo. I hope I didn't butcher that. I'm sorry if I did. This rolls in at $16. Now, the problem with European wines, and you all know it, when you see Gavi on the label, you might think the grape is called Gavi. It's not. It's Cortese. Cortese is the grape of Gavi. And Cortese is known to be very flinty, crisp, delicious wine. And we're going to see how this one rates. 2020 Michel Chiarolo Rovereto Gavi di Gavi. There you go. I spit it out. So a little bit gold. Actually, it's fairly golden in color. 2020, for a white, that's getting a little bit older. So it's very golden in color. Still fairly clear and gold. Clear and gold. Does that make any sense? I don't know. Let's see what we get on those. So definitely get some wet stone. I'm getting some flint qualities on it, which is good, I guess, since that's what it's supposed to be. Getting some apple, slight Asian pear notes. Yeah, let's see what we get on the palate. Gavi di Gavi, Cortese. Nice and fresh. This reminds me of a little bit, maybe of a cross between a Sauv Blanc and a Pinot Gris, sort of. But it's, of course, an animal of its own. Very fresh. The pear notes come through, light pear notes. That minerality comes through, but it's not overbearing. So for those of you just being introduced to minerality, which is something a lot of wine people like in their wines, I do. I like some minerality. I don't like it to taste like I'm chewing on rocks, but I do like minerality. I like this wine. I like the apple notes kind of come through on the finish. Very balanced. It's not high acid. It has acidity, but it's not high acid. That minerality, like I said, is there. But it's very balanced. This is a very balanced white wine. Yeah, good flavors to this wine. I like this wine a lot. I'm going to go straight up B+, A-. I think it's a good representation of Gavi di Gavi. And the interesting thing about Gavi is it's close to Liguria or Genoa. So it's actually made to go with that sort of a diet, which is very interesting. So seafood would definitely be a big part of what this could go. I would have this with salads. I would have it with clams, oysters, mussels, anything like that. It'd be a good, I could see it going with a chicken, white fish, be really good. I like this wine a lot. B+, A-. If I showed you a picture of that, I'm sure I did. Gavi to Gavi from Michel what's that? Yeah, Chiarolo. Gotta see it. Now, we're going to move on to a very interesting wine. This is the, let's see, Macanita from Douro. It rolls in at $29, so, you know, not chump change. This is 70% Viocino, 20% Codega di Lourinhã, and 10% Goveo. So, grapes, most of us, including myself, are not very familiar with. But these varietals will sometimes be, not all of them, but some of them will be used in the making of white port. And that's a big drink over in Portugal. White port and tonic with a little lime twist. Very good stuff. So here you go. Macanito Douro White from the Douro, Portugal. Let's see what we get on the nose. This is very kind of hay colored, very light golden color. Let's see what we get on the nose. Now it's interesting, I looked up these grapes. One shows an herbal quality, one shows a real tropical fruit quality, and one, I can't remember what the other one showed. But anyway, it's interesting that the winemaker used these three grapes to introduce different types of flavors combined. So let's get on those. So I do get some pitted fruit. I get some apricot, peach, and I do get an herbal component in the background, so it's a very interesting wine. Get a little melon as well. Maybe even a little bit of mango. Let's see what we get on the palate. Very interesting nose. I like it. A lot fresher, more acidic than the Gavi to Gavi. Nice bracing on the palate. Very bracing on the palate. Those notes come through. I'm getting a little pineapple on the palate, which I didn't get on the nose. I get some like riverbed rock on the palate, so there's minerality. Melon notes, mango notes, pineapple, maybe even a little bit of tangerine. This is a pretty cool wine. I mean, very cool. I know it's $30. You might be able to get it cheaper other places, but $30, $29. I'll be fair, not quite 30. Nice balance. The acidity isn't over the top. Has a little bit of weight on the back end, which is really cool. It's a very cool wine. Now, let's put this in perspective. I sell Santa Margherita Pinot Grigio for over $30 a bottle at the store. Now, I know you can get it cheaper other places, not necessarily in Washington State, but Arizona, California, of course. But still, people pay that. I sell out of that every week. So, $29 for a very interesting Douro white isn't that bad. I like the balance on this wine. I like that there's a little bit of an herbal component coming through on the finish. The acidity isn't over the top, but it's there. Again, very good seafood wine. Talk about seafood. They really have great seafood in Portugal, so that makes perfect sense. I can see this with a octopus would be great with this one. Yeah, good wine. I'm going to go straight up A. I think it's very solid wine, very well made. 13% alcohol. 2020 Macanita. I'm going to show it to you again. $29. For those homies, I don't have any at the store. Not sure if I'll get it, but if you want it, let me know. I'll get it for you. There's not a lot left, I guess. Solid wine. Long finish. I'm going straight up A. Now let's move on. I'm sure that might have had to... I didn't know what order to do these because I've never had that one before. I have a feeling Torrontés would be best in the last spot, and we'll talk about this. This is the Riva della Rosa Vermentino 2022 from Toscano, Italy. And this rolls in at $18. Vermentino, they grow it in Corsica, Bulgaria. They grow it in Piedmont, of course. They also grow it in Sardinia. So those are all places that they grow Vermentino. This is from Piedmont. Now it's interesting, they can also call it in Piedmont Flavorita. And in, I think in Liguria, they call it Peccato. But most people are familiar with Vermentino. At least I think that's actually not as uncommon as some of these wines that we're tasting. Ooh, interesting nose. Did I show you the label? $18. Yeah, I did. $18. Very interesting nose. So, when they use it in Provence, they call it roll. Roll, R-O-L-L-E, roll. So, golden color again, they're all pretty close. The lighter one was the one from Duro. Let's see what we get on the nose. I'm getting a little banana, melon. Not strong banana, just a light banana and melon. I get a little eucalyptus on the nose, which is interesting. And there's sort of a eucalyptus madrona bark sort of thing going on. Very interesting nose. Now, Vermentino can known to have a little saline quality to it. I think I'm getting a little bit out on the nose, a little bit of that saltiness on the nose. Let's see what we get on the palate. Boy, I'm telling you, that herbal kind of eucalyptus thing really comes through on the palate, big time, big time. Almost might be off-putting to a lot of you guys, I'm just saying. It's interesting to me, but I'm not sure. Big time herbal quality, not a lot of saltiness on the palate, maybe just a hair of it. I get that melon. There's a citrus component coming through, which gives it a nice crispness in the mouth. It's kind of juicy on the palate. Wow. I tell you, it's almost like rosemary meets tarragon meets, you get the idea. Dried herbs on this one. Really hits hard on the mid palate. Big expansion of those things. Yeah, definitely tarragon, maybe a little rosemary, maybe no sage. I wouldn't go sage. Tarragon, rosemary, I'm going to stick with that one. Interesting wine, fresh, juicy on the palate, clean. If you like those kind of herbal things, you're going to really like this wine. I think it's very balanced, nice and fresh, good acidity, good, again, a good seafood wine. I would have match this. If you had a little dish, like a little noodle dish with some herbs in it, this would be dynamite with that. I mean, this would rock it. Big time. This would be even fun. If you had a little lasagna, put it in your mouth. This, I'm not saying it would stand up to lasagna, but it would be a nice, interesting combination to see how it goes with those herbal qualities in there. I like that wine. So far we have 3 great wines. This is a good lineup. I'm going to go B, straight up B. I think it's a very solid, well-made Vermentino, and I think a lot of people like it, and $18 is a fair price. 16, 29, 18, all showing really well right now. Let's move on to the 2021 Crios by Susana Balbo, very famous woman winemaker down in Argentina. Torrontés from Argentina. This rolls in at $13, and it's my last wine, so I hope I'm right about this. Torrontés, to me, it reminds me a lot of a, oh come on, Stan, Viognier. Has that big kind of fruitiness to it. Some can even be viscous, so you have to be careful. I don't carry those at the store because I'm afraid it'll turn people off from Torrontés. Unless I get a guy somebody asks for that specific kind of Torrontés. The interesting thing is that's just a general term, Torrontés. There's 3 types of Torrontés. There's San Juanino, there's Mendocino. These are types of grapes in the Torrontés family, and then Rioja Torrontés, which is the most widely planted. So they just most of the time just put Torrontés on the list. I just like that one. doing the little roll on the tongue is kind of fun. All right. So the idea of this episode, once again, is to get you to try new things during this nice weather. It's beautiful outside today. And any one of these wines I'd be more than happy to pop and pour and enjoy in the sunshine with a seafood dish. It'd be fantastic. Trying to get you away from those, Wendy hamburger wines. And nothing against Wendy. People go for what's safe. McDonald's, Wendy's, that sort of thing. You get the picture. So sometimes it's nice to stretch your palate horizons. You might find a wine, you might find that you really like Gave de Gave. You might find you really like Portuguese white wines. You never know until you try, right? You have to try. Okay, so Tarantes from Crias by Susana Balbo. This is also kind of a hay color. Golden, light color. Let's see what we get on those. Ooh, a little stink action. This is kind of stinky. Little hair perm going on. When I was a kid, my mom would have the neighbor doing hair perm in the kitchen. You just got to get out of there, right? I never liked that smell. So this definitely has that kind of hair perm funkiness on the nose. And it's not blowing off very quickly, just saying. Usually it will. It will. I'm getting definitely some crushed rock. There's some mango notes coming through in this one. Sort of a hay quality, baled hay. Yeah. Let's see what we get on the palate. Very interested in this wine. It's not funky on the palate at all. It has exactly what I'm looking for in a Tarantes. Maybe a little touch of funk on the backside, but I get that kind of mango meets melon meets a bit of tangerine. Papaya. This is a balanced Tarantes. This is fresh on the finish. It has all those kind of tropical fruit notes with just a touch of maybe tangerine in there. But I'm definitely getting the mango papaya thing going on big time. Maybe a little bit of banana. And just a tiny hit of funk on the mid palate into the finish. But I'm sucking on this wine. I encourage everybody to aerate it in their mouth if you want to get the best out of it. Do it. Practice it by yourself, and you won't feel so weird when you're with people doing that. There's definitely a dried herb quality on the finish on this one. Very well balanced. Tarantes from Argentina. I'm not sure which. I wonder. I didn't look at the back of this, which I should have done. But I doubt if they put the elevation is 5,600 feet, which is not unusual in Argentina. This is high elevation stuff. They say passion fruit, lychee nut. I can see that. Yeah, I can see the passion fruit. Lychee nut's a hard one for me. I don't go around eating lychee nuts very often. In fact, I should get my hands on some, right? But I can see the passion fruit, I can see the mango, I can see the papaya in this one. Good acidity, very fresh, lively on the palate. I like this wine. Once again, we have to go seafood, white fish, salad would be okay with this one, and just basically a porch pounder if you want it. So, hopefully, I'm gonna go B+. B+, striking towards A- on that one. I think it's a very balanced, well-made Tarantes that will probably make it into my department because I'm looking for another one. I only have one. I would like to have two, and this is a very fresh, clean, nice Tarantes. Doesn't go over the top of the fruit. There you have it. So, in the comments, what would you like to see me do on this YouTube channel? What do I need to do to get you guys to watch this for more than 3.2 minutes? That's the average viewership on these episodes. what am I doing wrong? Or maybe you just get bored right away. I don't know. I mean, do you want to find out about these wines? I know a lot of you do watch the whole thing. So there's a few of you that probably click on it and say, I'm going to go on to something else. The attention span of the American public is very short. I understand that. So hopefully I'm encouraging you to expand your palate horizons for this coming summer months where you can try new, interesting white wines. Thanks for taking a little time out of your day. I appreciate what especially I'm 1,013 subscribers. That's pretty awesome. So thank you very much. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.